Hello, my name is Tasum Shin and I'll be doing my IOC on Bliss written by Catherine Mansfield. I'll be specifically looking at the page 7 and page 8 of this short story. It is about a naive woman whose husband gets seduced by a neighborhood who she wants to be close. So the theme of this story is Bertha. She's a main character. Bertha's relationship among the people and her innocence. There's a conflict introduced in this part um, that Bertha thinks that she's spiritually connected to Miss Walton, but she's not. And then it can also be interpreted as a homosexual sin because Bertha thinks that she's too pretty, and then she's feeling like she's very close to Miss Bolton when it's not true. So today I'll be talking by each paragraph. So I'll start with the middle of the page 7 when it says that Miss Bolton did not look at her. This sentence indicates that Miss Fulton is flirting with Bertha's husband so that she doesn't dare to look at her. And she gives her such a strange half smile that indicates that she's pierced when she sees Bertha because obviously she's flirting with her husband. But the next sentence says that but Bertha knew suddenly as if the longest. It tells that Bertha's very naive because what she's guessing is totally wrong. And then the last sentence of this paragraph says that beautiful rests of the great plate. I thought that this is probably one of the symbols Catherine Mansfield used because beautiful rests of can have a meaning that can have a meaning of Bertha's perspective of Miss Fulton, as she describes here beautiful red, but then the plate itself is gray. This probably means that the thing she's expected is not correct, is not true. And by saying that it was feeling just what she was feeling, this can indicate that Bertha feels like she's spiritually connected to Miss Fulton. And it's also a type of irony because it's not true. The next paragraph describes the situation of Faith and Mark and Eddie and Harry. From this part of the story, I thought that what they are doing is in such a vain manner, but then Bertha thinks that she's very happy that actually people are participating in her party. You can know that she's very naive, and it also connects with the theme because this paragraph talks about her relationship among the neighborhoods and her innocence. And the next part of page 7 is a dialogue between Miss Fulton and Bertha. When it says that isn't she very Lee with Michael Old? Michael Old is probably the person who knows us names, and then she says that the man who wrote Love in Falsities. This can have a foreshadowing meaning that of Bertha's her own circumstance she's facing now. Falsities is probably the relationship between Miss Fulton and her husband. What's he going to call it? Stomach trouble? I think by saying stomach trouble, she's being very sarcastic. So let's turn to page 8 now. Page 8, the second paragraph, when it says that in fact she longed to tell them how delightful they were and what decorative color they made. sentence is probably so ironic because her neighborhood is not delightful as she sings. Actually, they are very, in such a poor manner. The first paragraph, when it says that childlike pleasure, um, it relates to Bersa's characterization. She was very naive, and then, oh, why did she feel so tender towards the whole world tonight? I thought that Bersa is probably living in her own fantasy world. And then there comes the poetry again. The poetry is symbolizing her relationship between herself and Miss Fulton. The seventh paragraph of page 8, it's an example of illusion, and it also can be a situational irony because Bersa seems that she knows Miss Fulton's mood exactly and instantly, but then um, it's not true that she's connected. Bersa thinks that she's spiritually connected to Miss Fulton, but then as it says here, it's less than nothing. It's not true. And the next part can be a little bit homosexual because it says that Bersa really likes Miss Fulton and then she wants to be close to her, and she says that she's very pretty, and then it happens very very rarely between women. And by saying that give a sign, the sign um, it indicates the connection between Miss Fulton and Bertha, the spiritual connection. And it says that what she meant by that she didn't know and what would happen after that she could not imagine. This has a foreshadowing meaning that Harry and Miss Fulton are like very close and then they are flirting each other. Then this is what she cannot imagine. And next part it says, while she saw it like this, she saw herself talking and laughing. This is connected to the theme of this short story. It's very ironic, and then she's very naive because she doesn't know anything and she couldn't imagine anything, but she's happy that everyone's participating in her party, and she's very like happy and she wants to talk to everyone, and then she desires to laugh. So Bertha is a woman who's very naive and who lives in her own fantasy, and Miss Fulton is a very attractive person who tries to flirt with her Bertha's husband. And I thought that Bertha's husband, is quite not responsible because he has his own family already, but then he's been cheating Bertha. And I thought he quite bravadoes by by reading his words. The atmosphere of this short part of this short story is very cheerful because Bertha is very happy with her neighborhoods, and she's happy that everyone's participating in her party. But in fact, she's living in her own fantasy, and her husband is cheating her. So it's not as happy as she expected. So in conclusion, Bertha is very naive and she's very innocent because she couldn't imagine what's going to happen next, and then she wants to be closer with Miss Fulton because she feels something from her, like spiritual thing, but then it was all true, and Miss Fulton doesn't actually feel the same as her. So it's kind of irony. Thank you for listening.